It was a crisp morning in Atlanta, Georgia, and Angela Johnson's shift at Magnolia's, a popular southern restaurant, had just begun. Angela was known by her regulars for her warm smile, quick wit, and a natural ability to make anyone feel at home. Magnolia's, an iconic diner, prided itself on its down-home cooking and family atmosphere, but beneath the charm, Angela had witnessed her fair share of the restaurant's darker undercurrents, subtle biases and whispered comments from management that left her feeling uneasy. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. Angela had always dreamed of a better life. A single mother of two, she worked long hours to make ends meet, often sacrificing her personal time to provide for her children. Despite the struggles, she believed in kindness and treating everyone with respect, a principle that guided her every action. It was this same principle that led to a life-changing encounter one fateful afternoon. That day, Magnolia's was buzzing with activity as the lunchtime crowd filled the restaurant. Angela was in her element, balancing trays of sweet tea and steaming plates of fried chicken when a hush fell over the dining area. Curious, she glanced toward the entrance and froze. In walked a man she never thought she'd see in person, former President Donald Trump. Flanked by Secret Service agents, Trump's presence immediately polarized the room. Some patrons clapped enthusiastically, while others exchanged uneasy glances or hurriedly asked for their checks. Angela's heart raced as her manager, Carl, approached her with a frown. "Angela," he said, his voice low but stern, "you're up. Table 5, don't screw this up." She approached the table, her nerves jangling. Trump sat there, larger than life, scanning the menu with an exaggerated squint. Angela plastered on her professional smile and greeted him like she would any other customer. "Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to Magnolia's. What can I get started for you today?" Trump looked up, his famously orange-hued face breaking into a grin. "You're a very polite young lady," he said. "I like that. I'll take the fried catfish, cornbread, and sweet tea." Angela nodded, her professional demeanor unwavering. As she jotted down the order, she noticed the tension in the room. Some diners whispered behind their hands, and Carl hovered near the kitchen, watching her every move. She delivered Trump's meal without incident, and even managed to exchange a few polite words with him about the restaurant's history. Then came the turning point. As Trump finished his meal and prepared to leave, he accidentally dropped a crisp $100 bill onto the floor. Angela noticed it immediately and, without hesitation, picked it up and handed it back to him. "You dropped this, sir," she said, holding out the bill. Trump looked genuinely surprised. "Well, aren't you honest?" he said, slipping the bill back into his pocket. Then, in a rare gesture, he took it out again and handed it to her. "Here, you deserve it." Angela hesitated, knowing that accepting such a tip might draw scrutiny, but Trump insisted. "It's for you," he said firmly. She finally accepted, thanking him before he departed. What happened next was nothing short of surreal. Angela returned to the kitchen where Carl stood waiting. His expression was a mix of disbelief and anger. "What the hell was that?" he snapped. Angela was taken aback. "What do you mean? I just served him like any other customer." "You made us look bad, Angela. We don't need that kind of attention," Carl hissed. "Corporate's not gonna like this." "I don't understand," Angela said, her voice shaking. "I treated him with respect like I do everyone." Carl shook his head. "You're done here. Pack your things and leave." Stunned, Angela tried to reason with him, but it was no use. Within minutes, she found herself out on the sidewalk, her apron still in hand and her heart sinking with every step. Fired for doing her job, for showing kindness. How could this be happening? News of the incident spread like wildfire. A fellow waitress who had overheard the exchange posted about it on social media, and within hours, Angela's story went viral. Some people lauded her for her integrity, while others accused her of betraying her community by serving Trump with a smile. The controversy snowballed, with commentators on both sides of the political aisle weighing in. Angela became the reluctant center of a media storm, her name trending on Twitter and her face plastered across news broadcasts. Amid the chaos, Angela struggled to make sense of what was happening. Bills were piling up and job prospects were slim. She spent her days fielding calls from reporters and her nights worrying about how she would provide for her children. But just when things seemed darkest, a surprising turn of events changed everything. One evening, Angela received a call from a number she didn't recognize. The voice on the other end was warm and reassuring. "Angela, this is Ivanka Trump. My father told me what happened, and I want to help." Angela was skeptical at first, unsure if the call was genuine, but Ivanka quickly proved sincere. "We believe in rewarding honesty and kindness," Ivanka said. "I'd like to offer you a position at one of our hotels. The pay is better, and there's room for growth." Angela was floored. She had never imagined such an opportunity could come her way. After discussing the offer with her family, she accepted. Within weeks, she moved to a new city, started her new job, and began building a better life for her children. But the story didn't end there. Angela's story continued to inspire people across the nation. Donations poured in from strangers who had been moved by her integrity, and she used the money to start a foundation aimed at helping single mothers navigate financial hardships. She appeared on talk shows, sharing her story and emphasizing the importance of kindness and resilience in the face of adversity. Meanwhile, Magnolia's faced a significant backlash. Patrons boycotted the restaurant, and employees quit in solidarity with Angela. Carl was eventually fired, and the restaurant's owner issued a public apology, admitting that Angela had been treated unfairly. Angela's life was transformed in ways she never could have imagined. What had started as an ordinary day at work had turned into a whirlwind of challenges and opportunities. Through it all, she remained true to her values, proving that even in the face of injustice, integrity and kindness could pave the way for a brighter future. Angela Johnson's journey was far from over. While the media frenzy surrounding her firing eventually quieted, her life continued to evolve in extraordinary ways. Each step brought new challenges, triumphs, and revelations that further shaped her path. What started as an act of kindness in an ordinary diner became a story of transformation that resonated with millions. After accepting Ivanka Trump's offer to work in one of the Trump Organization's luxury hotels, Angela relocated to Washington, D.C. The move was bittersweet. Leaving behind the life she had built in Atlanta meant saying goodbye to friends and familiar surroundings. However, the promise of a fresh start for her and her children outweighed her hesitations. Angela's children, 10-year-old Jasmine and 7-year-old Michael, were excited about the prospect of a new home and new schools, but they also shared their mother's nervousness. The Trump Hotel in Washington was a world away from the casual, bustling atmosphere of Magnolia's. From the moment Angela stepped through its grand doors, she was struck by the opulence. Crystal chandeliers hung like jewels from the ceiling, and polished marble floors gleamed under her feet. The uniform she was given, a crisp, tailored suit, felt like armor for a new chapter in her life. Her role as a hospitality coordinator involved ensuring that guests' experiences were flawless, a position that required tact, attention to detail, and an unflappable demeanor. Though she was eager to prove herself, Angela initially felt out of place. Many of her coworkers came from privileged backgrounds and carried an air of entitlement that made her feel self-conscious about her humble origins. Still, Angela had always been a quick learner and a hard worker. She absorbed the intricacies of her new role with determination, earning the respect of her peers and supervisors. Within months, she had settled into her job and begun to feel at home in her new environment. Her position at the hotel brought unexpected opportunities. One day, she was asked to assist with organizing a charity gala, an annual event that attracted some of the nation's most prominent figures. As Angela worked behind the scenes, she was struck by the stark contrast between her new reality and the life she had known just months before. She had gone from a waitress barely scraping by to helping coordinate an event attended by senators, business leaders, and philanthropists. At the gala, Angela was introduced to Vanessa Parker, a renowned activist and founder of a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering single mothers. Vanessa had been following Angela's story and was eager to connect with her. "You're an inspiration," Vanessa said warmly. "I'd love for you to speak at one of our events." Angela was taken aback. Public speaking was far outside her comfort zone, but Vanessa's encouragement planted a seed of possibility. After much deliberation, Angela agreed to share her story at an upcoming conference. The experience was nerve-wracking but rewarding. Standing on stage in front of hundreds of women, she spoke candidly about her struggles, the discrimination she had faced, and the lessons she had learned. Her authenticity struck a chord with the audience, many of whom approached her afterward to share their own stories and thank her for her honesty. This marked the beginning of Angela's second career as a motivational speaker. Over the next year, she traveled to cities across the country, addressing audiences of all sizes. Each time, she tailored her message to resonate with those she was speaking to, whether it was single mothers looking for hope, young professionals seeking guidance, or activists fighting for social justice. Angela's ability to connect with people on a deeply personal level made her a sought-after speaker, and her calendar quickly filled with engagements. Meanwhile, her foundation, The Honest Path, continued to grow. The donations she had received after her firing were initially used to provide direct assistance to struggling single mothers, paying for childcare, rent, and groceries. As the foundation gained traction, Angela began partnering with other organizations to offer workshops on financial literacy, career development, and parenting support. She also created a mentorship program, pairing women in need with volunteers who could offer guidance and encouragement. Despite her rising profile, Angela remained grounded. She made it a point to spend quality time with Jasmine and Michael, ensuring that their transition to life in Washington was as smooth as possible. She enrolled them in schools that emphasized diversity and inclusion, and she became an active participant in their extracurricular activities. Weekends were often spent exploring the city's museums, parks, and landmarks, creating memories that strengthened their bond as a family. Angela's relationship with the Trump family continued to evolve in surprising ways. Though she initially viewed her connection to them as purely professional, she came to see Ivanka as a mentor. Ivanka's guidance helped Angela navigate the complexities of running a foundation and balancing her various responsibilities. The two women developed a mutual respect, and their unlikely friendship became a topic of fascination for the media. While some criticized Angela for her association with the Trump family, she dismissed the negativity, focusing instead on the positive impact their support had enabled her to achieve. As Angela's success grew, she began to reflect more deeply on the circumstances that had led to her firing from Magnolia's. She realized that her story was not just about personal triumph, but also about systemic issues that needed to be addressed. Discrimination in the workplace, economic inequality, and the stigmatization of certain communities were all factors that had shaped her journey. Angela decided to use her platform to advocate for change. She collaborated with legal experts and advocacy groups to push for stronger protections for workers, particularly those in the service industry. Together, they lobbied for legislation aimed at preventing unfair dismissals, promoting diversity in hiring, and ensuring that all employees were treated with dignity and respect. Angela also worked to raise awareness about the challenges faced by single mothers, sharing her insights in interviews, op-eds, and public forums. One of her most ambitious projects was a documentary titled Serving Change, which chronicled her journey and explored the broader issues she was passionate about. The film featured interviews with her family, former co-workers, activists, and even some of the patrons who had been present at Magnolia's on the day of her firing. It was a powerful and thought-provoking work that shed light on the complexities of Angela's experience while inspiring viewers to take action in their own communities. As the years passed, Angela's impact continued to expand. The Honest Path became a national organization with chapters in multiple states and partnerships with major corporations. Angela published a memoir, From the Table to the Stage, which became a bestseller and further cemented her status as a cultural icon. Through it all, she remained committed to her core values of kindness, honesty, and resilience. Looking back, Angela often marveled at the twists and turns her life had taken. What had started as a simple act of returning a lost bill had set in motion a chain of events that changed her world, and the worlds of countless others. She knew that her journey was far from over, but she faced the future with confidence, ready to embrace whatever challenges and opportunities lay ahead. Angela Johnson's story was not just about her. It was about the power of humanity, the importance of standing up for what is right, and the possibility of turning adversity into a force for good. She had proven that even in the face of injustice, one person's actions could spark a ripple effect of positive change. For Angela, the greatest reward was not the recognition or success, but the knowledge that she had made a difference, a legacy she hoped would inspire generations to come. As Angela Johnson's journey unfolded, she discovered that her story was not just about overcoming challenges, it was about embracing opportunities to inspire, educate, and uplift. With every step forward, she learned more about the complexities of the world and the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. Her transformation from a fired waitress to a national advocate for change wasn't merely a personal victory, it became a beacon of hope for countless others. In her expanding role as a speaker and advocate, Angela found herself addressing audiences she never imagined reaching. At universities, she shared her journey with students who saw in her the embodiment of resilience and determination. Many were inspired to volunteer with her foundation or pursue careers aimed at creating social impact. At corporate conferences, she challenged executives to rethink workplace dynamics and foster environments that valued inclusion and fairness. Her ability to bridge worlds, those of the working class and the upper echelons of power, set her apart as a uniquely effective advocate. Angela's work with The Honest Path grew in scope and sophistication. Recognizing that systemic change required more than individual efforts, she began collaborating with policymakers to address the root causes of workplace inequities. She testified before congressional committees, sharing firsthand accounts of the discrimination she had faced and offering actionable solutions. Angela's proposals ranged from mandating anti-bias training for managers to establishing government-backed safety nets for workers in vulnerable positions. In addition to her advocacy efforts, Angela became a mentor to young women navigating similar struggles. She frequently held workshops where participants could share their challenges and receive guidance from her and other mentors. Angela's focus was not only on helping these women overcome obstacles, but also on empowering them to envision and achieve their dreams. "You're not defined by your circumstances," she often told them. "You have the power to create your own path." One of Angela's most fulfilling projects was establishing a scholarship fund for single mothers pursuing higher education. She remembered vividly the sacrifices she had made to provide for her children, and how difficult it had been to see beyond the immediate demands of survival. The scholarship fund, aptly named Second Chances, aimed to give women like her the opportunity to invest in themselves and their futures. The first recipients of the scholarship sent her heartfelt letters, expressing gratitude for the chance to rewrite their stories. Her personal life also blossomed in unexpected ways. While attending a charity event, Angela met Jordan Simmons, an attorney who specialized in labor rights cases. The two connected over their shared passion for justice and advocacy, and their friendship quickly deepened into something more. Jordan became a steadfast partner, supporting Angela in her work and embracing her children as his own. Together, they created a loving and supportive home, proving that Angela's story of transformation extended to every facet of her life. Angela often reflected on the ripple effect of her decision that day at Magnolia's. The simple act of returning a dropped bill had sparked a journey that touched countless lives. It wasn't just her story anymore. It was a collective narrative of resilience, integrity, and the belief that even the smallest actions could lead to profound change. Angela Johnson's life continued to unfold in ways that revealed the full impact of her journey. As her foundation, The Honest Path, expanded its outreach, Angela explored new avenues for addressing systemic issues. One of her most ambitious initiatives was a partnership with local governments to implement workplace equity audits. These audits were designed to identify patterns of discrimination and inequity in companies and organizations, providing a blueprint for creating fairer environments. The results of the program were groundbreaking, with several participating businesses reporting improved employee satisfaction and retention rates. As Angela's reputation grew, she was invited to participate in global conferences on social justice and economic equity. At an international summit in Geneva, she shared the stage with world leaders, activists, and academics. Her message was simple, but powerful. The human values of honesty and kindness could, and should, inform policy and corporate culture. Her speech was met with a standing ovation, and she left the summit with new alliances that would broaden the scope of her advocacy. While Angela focused on her work, her children Jasmine and Michael were flourishing in their own ways. Jasmine, now a teenager, had inherited her mother's determination and began working on a project to provide tutoring services to underserved students in their community. Michael, inspired by his mother's journey, expressed an early interest in public speaking and joined his school's debate team. Angela often spoke about how her children's achievements were among her greatest sources of pride, and she encouraged them to pursue their passions fearlessly. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on a waitress being fired for helping Donald Trump? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching and see you next time.